bless the remainder of this meeting and I give our in Jesus' name.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good evening. At this time, will we please have roll call?
Mayor Gary Moore.
Present.
City Attorney Darren Rice.
Here.
Alderman Terry Stahl.
Here.
Alderman Alan Marsh.
Here.
Alderman Cheryl Eckleberry. Here. Alderman Eugene McGill.
Present.
Alderman Bruce McKibben.
Here.
Alderman Clifford Reaver.
Here.
Alderman Dewey Eckleberry.
Here.
Alderman Cody Atterbury.
Here.
And with everyone in attendance, we have a quorum. We will move into the approval of the minutes of the last council meeting. You had those enclosed in your packets. Are there any corrections to the minutes of the last council meeting? If there are none, is there a motion to approve them?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
And McKibben. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Does anyone wish to abstain? Minutes are approved. Next would be the bills that were submitted for payment since the last council meeting. Everyone has had a chance to take a look at those bills. Any questions on any of the bills? If none, is there a motion to approve?
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Alderman Dewey Eckleberry, seconded by Alderman Atterbury to approve the minutes, or the bills for this meeting. Roll call vote McKibben.
Yes.
Reaver.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atterbury.
Yes.
Dewey Eckleberry.
Yes.
Cheryl Eckleberry.
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
And the bills are approved. Next would be the public comment section. If there's anyone that would like to address the council, I will ask that you raise your hand. We'll call you forward. You will have 3 minutes to address the council. At this time, is there anyone that would like to address the council? Seeing none, we will close the public comment section and move into routine business. Item number 1 is the ordinance to approve the tax levy. And folks, I want to say that there's not one individual sitting at this table that really wants to increase your taxes. But we have a responsibility to the community to do what's the right thing. You've heard me talk over the last council meeting, the condition that our police and fire pension is. We're almost $7 million in the arrears. By 2045, we have to have that pension 90% funded. So, and as I've said before, to get out of the hole, you got to stop digging. And I've got a handout, but here I've got from 2015 to last year of the amount of tax that the city asked to pass. Last year it was 4.99%. And with that, you know, we have a few buckets that we drop funds into. The corporate, we had 99,924. Fire protection was 38,154. Police protection was 38,054. Social Security, 67,071. The library was 57,878. The police pension, 206,350. Or fire, I'm sorry. The state minimum at that time was 139,722. So we did exceed the state minimum, and that was by design, by the way that we had been shifting tax dollars into those buckets. The police pension was $397,982 with the state minimum of $563,000. Left us $165,000 short. We collected $905,413. Now this 7.99% that we've asked, it's kind of hard to figure. Not until yesterday did anybody reach out and say, how's that made up? Is it the total tax of your total bill? It is not. You know, the only thing that this council, we control is the Fairfield corporate tax. That's it. You know, I told you that I had my tax bill here. It's available for anybody to see. You know, my corporate tax last year, the prior year for the Fairfield Corp was $608.55. For 2023, it was $652.79. That's actually a 7% increase. Now you might ask, well, we only asked for 4.99. That has to do with the assessed value of the property. Brandon made mention that the county is looking to redo that. So basically, you know, we told the county board, and for this year with the 7.99%, we're asking that the county collect an additional $72,341 for the city of Fairfield. They're going to assess your property. Some property the assessment might go up, so your tax might go down because you're getting more property tax. For those that are under assessed and they move it around, that fee might go up. Again, there's nobody here that wants to do it. It is my recommendation that we will drop the money into the buckets as this. I'm going to leave the corporate at $99,924. I'm going to leave the fire protection at $38,154. I'm going to leave the police protection at $38,054. I'm going to leave Social Security at $67,071. I'm going to leave the library at $57,878. I'm going to increase the fire pension to $222,837. We've not been told what the state minimum is yet. They've not told us. I'm going to contribute $453,836 to the police pension. Again, we have not been told what the state minimum is. So that's a total of $977,754 with a 7.99. An additional tax of $72,000. You know, they're going to come up with a tax rate. If you look at my tax rate in 2022 was 1.81478. In 23, it went down to 1.79603, which probably meant that my property was reassessed to value, and so that was the swing. We need the money, folks. I'm sorry, but you take a look, and I've got it since 2015 of what's done to the police pension. Now, we can get together and we can work through this, and we can do a little bit at a time, or we can pass the hot potato down and pay a whole lot in the future. I mean, I don't think there's a person in this room that will say, I don't want police protection. There's not a person in this room that will say, I don't want fire protection. And pension's a big word. I mean, it's big within the state of Illinois. You know, you talk pension reform. I'm not going to disagree or agree, but the problem that we have is here's what we've got, and here's where we stand, and how are we going to get out of it? Again, I don't think there's anybody here that really wants their taxes to go up. But we only get funded by a few ways. Taxes, sales tax, gaming tax, you know, our sale of our utilities, and that can be another discussion at another time. You know, I mean, I report every month of the condition of our utilities, our business-like accounts. Next month, the auditors will be here to present the audit, and you know, those are discussions that have to happen too. Again, it's, you know, we're not asking for anything out of the ordinary. There's not a business owner around that will continue to lose money or not take care of what needs to be taken care of. And folks, we just got to true up. For many, many years, we robbed from Peter to pay Paul. And Peter are saying, hey, it's time that we try to do something. It's not pleasant. I understand it. I mean, I don't want my taxes to go up. I don't want my utilities to go up. But the one thing that I do want to happen is when I turn the light switch on, the lights will come on. When I turn the shower on, I've got the opportunity to get hot water or cold water. And when I flush the stool, it goes to the sewer. But there's a cost of doing that. And I'm, I don't want to sit here. In 20 years, they say that Gary Moore and the 8 aldermen with him didn't do anything. They just passed the buck. It's time that we stop passing the buck. And I'm going to ask that the council approve the tax levy. And I know it's not a popular vote. I understand it. But we're all in this together. And there's only one way that we're going to get out of it. And that's together. Discussion.
I spoke with Tubby, or Eugene here for a second, about Jules' proposal, and he explained to me that this needs to be done by the end of this year, which is now. And so that, I just wanted to bring that up as to why we wouldn't go forward with another little committee meeting. Is that?
I have no problems, and Jill, I don't know if you was talking about some of the meetings that we had up here on Wednesday nights or something like that.
It was just, he's not here no more. It was Jim and I can't remember who the other one was, and it was Diane and me. And we figured out that it was the deal with you guys was wanting to pass the buck of these people not paying their utility bills onto the landlords. And we got together and we had brought up about Wayne White doing the collection and something else, and we got it all figured out to where.
I'm not opposed to having any discussion. I'm open for any discussion at all, and I will go forward with that.
Yeah. What I was saying though is that this is something that we need to do by the end of this year.
The tax levy has to be passed by the second Tuesday, or the last Tuesday in December, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which is now.
Which is now.
Okay, so that's what I mean as far
Yes.
as having a meeting about this, we can't.
We can, you always have the ability to try to do something in excess, to help out, but it's gonna help out for next year. That's just like when, Kayla gets the replacement property tax. I've shuffled money from that account. I've shuffled money from the gaming account. It's important that we, not only for our bonding issues, for our credit rating, that we meet what the state requires. You take a look back at these, the difference in the police pension has been negative since 2015, and that's all I went back. And I'm going to assume that it was probably before that. I've heard stories. You talk about the police pension in front of everybody here. You've got a letter from the fire and the police pension boards. The Fairfield Police Department pension board, that they give us a letter every year. This one was dated December the 7th. They give it to me tonight. They're requesting that we levy $650,000 for the police pension. The fire department, they give us their request. Theirs is $200,000. And I don't want to throw daggers, but mayors of the previous, they got these letters and they turned them over and said, no, they're making money with the investments that they got, so we don't need to contribute. And it's wrong. And it's a law.
Yeah.
The law, the state minimum says this is what you gotta contribute. You know, so we're faced with doing what's right. It's not popular, I understand it, and I really do. I don't want my property taxes to go up any more than you do. But I like it if I call 911 that I've got police protection that's gonna come and see what's going on with me. Or if I call, you know, the fire department, you know, I've got fire trucks running there. You know, there's areas that don't have fire protection that had a four-wheeler not a couple of years back on the side of the road caught fire. Well, it wasn't in this district, so they was told, we can't come.
Not in our district.
It's not our district. We don't have to come and cover you. You know, our Fairfield Fire Department, our Fairfield Rural work well together. Our Fairfield Police Department, our Wayne County Sheriff's Department, the bridge is getting gapped. They're getting better. That's what it's about. We all want things, but there's a cost of doing things. And if we just continue to kick it down the road, you can have a little increase now. I mean, and I made mention to this. You know, when I first looked at the tax levy to do just to get by to the state minimums was an 18% increase. I'm not silly. I mean, I know we can't do that, but we got to start somewhere, folks. Any other discussion? If none, is there a motion to approve the tax levy as it is?
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
That was Stahl, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. I have a motion by Alderman Stahl, seconded by Alderman McKibben to approve the Fairfield tax levy ordinance. Roll call vote, Reaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Dewey Eckleberry,
Yes.
Cheryl Eckleberry,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
McKibben.
Yes.
Okay. Motion is carried. Again, nobody wants it, but it's the right thing to do. Item number 2 is a resolution approving the revolving loan with Tim Isaacs, doing business as Tim's Bargain Depot. Doug Skaggs, would you like to present, or Tim? Go ahead and stand up here, Tim. Yep. This is Tim. Tell us what you got going on, Tim.
Well, I'm opening a business there in my wife's old shop over here at 119 East Main, selling used furniture, toys, some new furniture. Going to be getting more new furniture in. Just a little bit of everything.
And Tim has asked for a $15,000 from the revolving loan fund so that he can buy some inventory, and he has pledged furniture and fixtures and the inventory as collateral for the loan. It's good to see, you know, Tim is, like I said, his wife bought the corner store there, and she relocated, and Tim was able to bring a new business to town, and we wish him very well success. Did I leave anything out, Tim? Okay.
Nope.
Any discussion? If none, is there a motion to approve the resolution approving the loan?
I make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Alderman Dewey Eckleberry, seconded by Alderman Cheryl Eckleberry to approve the revolving loan with Tim Isaacs, doing business as Tim's Bargain Depot. Roll call vote, Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Dewey Eckleberry,
Yes.
Cheryl Eckleberry,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
McKibben,
Yes.
Reaver.
Yes.
And that resolution is approved. Item number 3, the last item in routine business, is an ordinance regarding the Illinois Paid Leave for All Workers Act. Governor Pritzker signed this into law, and basically it will affect every business in town, from McDonald's to the local store, Basically, it says that if you have any employee who works 40 hours in a week, they get 8 hours of off pay up to 40 hours, and they have the ability to take that time off basically anytime they want. There's not much you can say about it. Darren, you got anything to add?
No, just that the ordinance that you're being asked to consider was basically designed by the municipal league. This would enable the city to opt out because we already have more or less our own paid leave policy, and so we wouldn't be on the hook in the event, because this would cover also part-time employees as well. So you're kind of, it's very broad. In this, the ordinance that's was designed basically indicates we have a policy on the books, and that therefore we're exempt from this mandate. So it's recommended that you pass it as it is. So. Does anyone have any questions about it? Okay. Do you have, I'm sorry.
I don't know what question to ask. You said that even for part-time and even if they work less than 40 hours?
No, I mean, if they're part-time, but then they ended up meeting a certain threshold, they could be, is what I'm saying. I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay.
It just depends on how many hours you work. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, if a part-time employee, and we have two part-time employees, or we had two part-time employees that filled in out at the cemetery, that help mow and weed eat and keep the cemetery tidy. But if they work 40 hours, we have to give them 8 hours of pay. We have collective bargaining agreements with the IBEW and the FOP. And basically, you know, our collective bargaining agreement exceeds, those requirements. As they have vacation time, they have paid time off. But we just need to tie this in now. Any other discussion? If none, is there a motion to approve?
Make that motion. I'll second.
Okay, we have a first by Alderman Appleberry and a second by Alderman Stahl. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Does anyone wish to abstain? That motion is approved. That will bring us to the financial report for the city for the month of November. The highlights or lowlights, ever how you want to take a look at it. The November expenses for the city totaled $1,534,918, with revenues generated of $1,338,884, for a net income loss of $196,034. Year to date is expenses is $11,109,739. with revenues of $10,762,652, with a net loss for the year of $347,086. Cash flow for the month of November showed a negative cash flow of $120,244. Year to date is a negative cash flow of $717,804. Payroll expenses for the month of November was $332,483. Year to date, $2,607,247. Gaming income was $9,073. Year to date was $81,032. Sales tax income was $139,501, and year to date was $939,000. The checking account balance for the general fund at the end of November was $1,379,400.42, and we have $812,542 sitting in a CD drawing interest. Any questions on the financials? If not, we'll move into miscellaneous. Last month, I said that Wayne White Electric would be installing the meters. They are making phone calls. They are getting them installed. Again, it takes about 10 or 15 seconds for them to get the meter switched out, and hopefully, you know, they can continue. We have, I guess, nice weather is good for them, but it's bad for our utility sales. But hopefully we can get those meters installed and get the AMI in process. Anybody else have anything under miscellaneous they'd like to talk about? We have no need to go into executive session at this time. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
We have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Anyone wish to abstain? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Passed today, there will not be a meeting on December the 26th. You know, being it's the day after Thanksgiving, our next council meeting. Yeah, our next council meeting will be January the 9th, and January the 9th, the auditors will be here to present their audit. Sorry about that.